No, no, you're not late. No problem. We haven't started. We're starting. Hello, everybody. How do you hear me? Loud and clear? Loud and clear?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
All right. We are using a different speaker here today. So, was there any homework yesterday?
Yes,
What was it?
unit 10,
The listening section.
page number.
10.9 and 10.10. Just close the door. I'm playing the song, the audio now.
(10.9) The world's number one habit, chewing gum. Part 1.
This week on Worldly Wise, we look at the world's most common habit.
Okay, there are two things you can do with an audio. You can understand the overall idea by listening to it once or twice. Try and understand what exactly they're saying,
Voice is
Okay.
not pronunciation.
There are two things you can do with the audio file. You can listen to it once or twice and try and understand what they're talking about, the overall idea. And the second thing you can do is do a deeper learning where you play every sentence and pause, try to understand the structure of that sentence, the grammar of that sentence, right? So as far as the first part is concerned, you have already done it. You have already listened and you have decided whether these sentences are true or false. You have corrected them, right? I will give you just one more opportunity to do the same here in the class. And after that, I'm going to play the audio line by line, pausing after each sentence and explain what they are saying, the sentences, the grammar, the vocabulary, and everything. Okay? So just listen to it once and do the exercise if you haven't done it. And if you have already done it, great. Just double check your answers.
Chewing gum. Yes, chewing gum. Every year, 374 trillion sticks of chewing gum are made. and we chew 100,000 tons of it. So why do we do it? And how many of us know what it's made of?
Excuse me, I see you are chewing gum.
Yeah,
And do you have any idea what it's made of?
made of? Nah, I've never thought about it.
What about you? Do you know?
No idea. Rubber, maybe?
And do you know who invented it?
The Americans?
Yeah, the Americans. I bet it was invented in the US.
And finally, tell me, why do you chew it?
Why?
I don't know. It's cool. It's cool to chew gum.
It's something to do.
Cool or not, chewing gum isn't made of rubber, and it wasn't invented by the Americans. It was invented by the Swedes. The Swedes, I hear you say? But listen to Lillian Wood, a chewing gum expert. Lillian, welcome.
Thank you. Well, the history of chewing gum goes back thousands of years. In Sweden, in 1993, a skeleton of a teenage boy was found. This boy was 9,000 years old, and in his mouth was some gum. It was made of tree sap and honey, and this is the first known chewing gum.
That's amazing. Perhaps we've always needed to chew things. After all, babies are born wanting to chew. They put everything into their mouths. So, Lillian, why do we chew gum?
We chew to clean our teeth and freshen our breath, but also just because we like chewing. It keeps us calm.
Yeah, keep calm and chew gum.
Yes, the ancient Greeks chewed a gum called mastica. It's a type of tree sap. The Greeks thought it was good for the health and it made the breath sweet-smelling. We also know that in the 1st century AD, the Mayan Indians in South America enjoyed chewing gum. They chewed a tree sap called chicle. They wrapped it in leaves and put it in their mouths.
The first packet of chewing gum.
Yes, indeed, the first packet of gum.
So, guys,
10.9. The world's number one habit.
look at number 7. The Mayan Indians wrapped their gum called chicle in paper. Now, the sentence is not entirely wrong. Some of the information is true. Some of the information is false. So when you respond to a sentence like this, you need to be open to, say what is needed to be said rather than look for a pattern, look for a shortcut, which you might have, found useful at the elementary level. The Mayan Indians wrapped their gum called chicle in paper. It is true that the Mayan Indians wrapped their gum called chicle, but not. It is true that Mayan Indians had gum, they chewed gum, and it was called chicle, but they did not wrap it in paper. They wrapped it in leaves. This is how you will correct this statement, guys. You'll agree with what is right, and you will disagree with what is not right, what is not true. Yes, it is true that the Mayan Indians also chewed gum, and their gum was called chicle, but they did not wrap their gum in paper. They wrapped their gum in leaves. That's the point. The Greeks chewed gum because it freshened their breath. That's not entirely true. It is true that the Greeks chewed gum. They did, but not to freshen their breath. They did it to make their breath sweet smelling. They wanted their breath to smell sweet, not fresh. There is a difference. The first chewing gum was made of tree sap and sugar. No. The 2,000-year-old chewing gum that we found in the skeleton, that was made of tree sap and honey. The earliest example of gum was found in a skeleton in Sweden. Yes, that's true. They found a skeleton of a boy. That skeleton was how many years old, guys? 9? What?
90,
Yes, Rukaiya?
9,000.
9,000.
9,000.
9,000.
9,000.
Did you miss the word thousand? The habit of chewing gum goes back 2,000 years. Can we agree with this statement? If that boy who's a skeleton we found with chewing gum in the skeleton in the mouth, if that skeleton was 9,000 years old, we can easily say the habit of chewing gum goes back at least 9,000 years. Chewing gum is made of a type of rubber.
False.
That's a common myth, na? A lot of people believe and think that it is made of a type of rubber. Okay, let's listen to it again, 10.9. This time, I would like to help you understand line by line, word by word. Appreciate the flow of the language. This is a very colloquial thing here we are listening to. A person is on the road talking to people, interviewing people, right, guys? 10.9 here.
Habit. Chewing gum. Part 1.
This week on Worldly Wise, we look at the world's most common habit, chewing gum.
This week on Worldly Wise, what is the name of the program?
Worldly wise.
This week on Worldly Wise, we look at the world's most common habit.
Yes, chewing gum.
Chewing gum. Yes, chewing gum.
Every year, 374 trillion sticks of chewing gum are made.
Yeah, more than over 300 trillion sticks of chewing gum are made every year.
And we chew 100,000 tons of it.
And they all weigh nearly or about 100,000 tons. All these 374 trillion chewing gums, sticks of chewing gum rather, not chewing gums. That's a common error because gum is uncountable, right? Gum is uncountable. You cannot say gums. Basically, they are sticks of chewing gum, okay? So these sticks weigh, W-E-I-G-H as a verb, everybody. These sticks of chewing gum weigh about 100,000 tons. Any confusion, Simran? I can see some expressions on your face. Go ahead, beta. Tell me what your confusion is.
I can't seem to understand what you are saying.
Nothing at all, or confused about something? What about
That
what I'm saying?
weighing.
W-E-I-G-H.
What are you talking about? Weight.
How do you connect these two pieces of information? Every year, 374 trillion sticks of chewing gum are made, and we chew 100,000 tons of it.
These are the numbers of chewing gum that are made 374 trillion.
Go on.
And are we talking about the chewing gum pack? Like in one pack, we have 10 chewing gums. It is like that. The
I'm not
sticks of
saying
chewing
anything. I'm just asking you to make some sense of the information in front of you in the text. How do you connect 374 trillion sticks and 100,000 tons? What is the connection?
Uh, I seem to understand that this 374 trillion sticks says to me that it's like the one pack of chewing gum.
Who cares?
And
Why are you? I'm trying to ask. I'm asking you the connection between 100,000 tons. What is a ton? What is a ton, Simran? What is a ton?
the
What is
weight
a
of the
ton?
chewing gums, I
What is a
mean to
ton?
say that,
Ton is a weight of 1,000 kilograms. A ton is a weight
yeah.
of 1,000 kilograms. So what
Oh,
is written
okay,
here?
sir. Got it,
374.
sir.
Got it. Okay.
Yeah, got it.
Khushi, English problem. You understood the connection, but language problem, Khushi. Weight. Weight is such a common word. Everybody knows how much. What is your weight? What is your weight? Okay. Weight is such a common word. He's losing weight. He's trying to lose weight. It is difficult to lose weight. Weight is a common word. Okay. But there is another. Weight comes from the verb weigh. Weigh. There is a verb called weigh. Weigh. And then you add a t and it becomes weight. All right. Weight is the noun. My weight, your weight. And the verb is weigh. Weigh. Not many people use the verb weigh. I weigh 72 kilos. I weigh 72 kilos. My weight is 72 kilos.
So at first I understood it like that type that it's like packets. 374 trillion is the packet numbers of packets, and under the packet we have this 100 tons of what 100,000 tons of like pieces. I got it like that type.
You are obviously wrong, right?
Yeah.
Every year, 374 trillion sticks of chewing gum are made. How many sticks of chewing gum? 374 trillion sticks of chewing gum. When you buy chewing gum, you normally see a stick of chewing gum, right? Wrapped in paper. Now you can have a packet of 5 sticks, a packet of 10 sticks, different. That doesn't matter. But here you get a number. Every year, how many sticks are produced?
374 trillion.
374 trillion sticks are produced. And how much do they weigh? These sticks, how much do they weigh?
100,000 tons.
100,000 tons. They weigh 100,000 tons. Got it, everyone? Now I'm saying weigh. She, you go ahead and use the word weigh and tell us your weight. Tell us your weight, but don't use the word weight. Use the word weigh, weigh. And you are allowed to, minus 5 kilos, 10 kilos, 20 kilos, whatever you want, no problems. You don't have to tell us the truth. Your sentence, Kushi. I weigh. No T, right? I weigh because it is a verb. I weigh, just like I eat, I sleep, I run, I weigh. Go on, Kushi.
I weigh. It's weighs or weigh?
Because you're using I. With I, you say go or goes. I go or I goes. Fundamentals, basics.
I weigh 70
Okay.
kgs.
Okay, you weigh 70 kilos. All right. And I weigh about 74, 75 kilos. Okay. But somehow you look chubbier than me. No? No, she's as tall as me. You're 5 feet 7 inches tall, Kushi, or 5'8".
I'm thinking I'm gonna say truth here.
You're thinking you're okay. 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 Sorry about that. Okay. I'm sorry. All right. Smart. Okay. Got it. Okay. Fine. All right, I'm dumb. Sometimes I feel I'm dumb. She says she weighs 70 kilos. I thought she's telling us the truth. So I said, but you look chubbier than me. Then she says, but do you think I'm telling you the truth? Okay, got it. Bring it down to 70 kilos then, okay? You'll look great in 70 kilos. Or at 70 kilos rather. You'll look great at 70 kilos. Yeah. So I weigh, right? And if you have to talk about your sister, Khushi, your elder sister, what will you say? My elder sister,
Weighs.
ob-
Weighs.
obviously, weighs, obviously. It's a basic fundamental thing, right, everyone? Zafri. Do not use the word be to talk about people's weight. Don't say, I am 87 kilos. No, say, I weigh 87 kilos. Don't say, I am 87 kilos, okay? Don't say, I am 50 kilos. Don't say that. Say, I weigh 50 kilos. Be verb is not good here. If you have to say then be verb, then you have to add, I am 50 kilos in weight. I am 50 kilos in weight, which is a rather, I will say, complex. Simply say, I weigh 50 kilos. It's not colloquial. I am 50 kilos in weight. It's not colloquial at all. It just becomes grammatically correct that way. But you should learn what people say most commonly, and that's I weigh 50 kilos, I weigh 70 kilos. I don't weigh as much as you. I don't weigh as much as you. Who weighs the most in the class? Saurav, Singh Saab, come on, come forward and take the crown. Or is it Ravi? Or is it Ravi, Saurav? Who's not here? Ravi has done so much for me today. I'm so grateful to him. He took all the trouble and went to that shop where we ordered our uniform t-shirt. And he traveled more than 30 kilometers, to get to the shop. And then his brother helped me so much. Anant, they use their GST number, to ensure that we get a proper pakka bill, Right. Yeah. And what else? I would say, they were even ready to pay for us, but then it was not needed. I feel so lucky. I have such great, students. Saurav, are you
That's
ready?
why he's not with.
Yeah, that's why he's not here. He's coming back. He's on his way back. Saurav, are you, Aisha came and left. Aisha was here, wasn't she? Aisha
Yes,
was here.
she was here, but
Yeah.
she
Saurav,
missed
do you think
the
you take
meeting.
the crown or the crown will go to Ravi when it comes to who's the heaviest guy in the class? Who weighs the highest here?
Uh, 3 or 4 months before I was more heavy than Ravi here, but
3-4 months ago. Until 3-4 months ago. Until
oh sorry, until
Mhm.
but these days I go to gym, so I think I am not tomorrow.
okay, you could have simply said these days I'm working out, I'm going to the gym.
Just
So yeah, so you're not as heavy as him these days. Okay. In 3 months, you have
I'm not
lost so much
sure
weight.
actually.
You're not sure about it.
Yeah, and I would not say a
Okay.
single word about this.
Mm. We chew 100,000 tons of it.
So why do we do it?
So why do we do it? Why do we chew gum? Why do we do it?
And how many of us know what it's made of?
And how many of us know what it is made of, what chewing gum is made of?
Excuse me, I see you are chewing gum.
Now, this reporter, is talking to somebody on the road. A boy interviewee. Notice here the word interviewee. The person who is answering the question,
Getting the
interviewing, right? And the person who is asking the question is the interviewer.
interviewer.
The person who is giving the salary is the employer. And the person receiving the salary is the employee. Okay, double E there. Y double E, employee. Okay, employer, employee. The biggest employer in India, I think, is the Ambanis. So who do you think is the biggest employer in India? Tata. Tata. Okay. And second biggest is, I think, right. What happened here? Am I okay?
Done.
Just a second, people. Headphones, MI portable. Yeah, BT speaker, fine. Let's see. Excuse me, I see you are chewing gum. Now, how would you translate I see?
Yes. I see you are chewing gum.
How would you translate this? I see you are chewing gum. Translate it into Hindi.
अरे हाँ किंतु
मैंने देखा, ICI मैंने देखा. Excuse me, मैंने देखा तुम chewing gum चबा रहे हो. मैं देख रहा हूं कि तुम. मैं देख रहा हूं कि. Right. उसने नहीं कहा I'm seeing. यही point है. Okay. In English, there are some verbs which do not follow the standard rules. I am seeing your chewing gum. No, मैं देख रहा हूं कि तुम chewing gum चबा रहे हो. I see your chewing gum. मैं देख रहा हूं कि तुम chewing gum चबा रहे हो.
Yeah.
And do you have any idea what
And do you have any idea what it's made of? Do you have any idea?
it's made of?
Made of?
Made of?
Nah, I've never thought about it.
Nah, I've never thought about it. Never thought about what it is made of. I've never thought about what chewing gum is made of.
What about you? Do you know?
What about you? Do you know another person, perhaps next to her?
No idea. Rubber maybe?
No idea. Rubber maybe?
And do you know who invented it?
And do you know who invented it?
The Americans?
Mostly Americans invent everything. So the Americans.
Yeah, the Americans. I bet it was invented in the US.
The boy says, yeah, the Americans. I bet it was invented in the US. I bet means I'm very confident. I'm very sure. I bet. Not I think. I bet it was invented in the US. I bet you're hungry. I bet you're hungry.
And finally, tell
Everybody understood bet, or do I have to, elaborate on it? I bet means I'm making a statement with a lot of confidence. I bet. Bet is a verb because you heard I bet. Okay? It's a very common way of saying something confidently. I bet you want to exchange your seat with me. Suppose I'm sitting next to a beautiful girl on the bus and I say this to my friend. I bet you want to exchange your seat with me. Right? Means I'm very sure of it.
Tell me, why do you chew it?
And finally, tell me, why do you chew it?
Why? I don't know.
I don't know. Now, how many times do you hear Indians saying things? I don't know. Okay. I don't know. Okay. But then some people do. And if you expect that everybody will say, I don't know, then no, not everybody talks that way. This is why you should listen to people from around the world. Because why are you learning English? English is an international language. But people around the world do not speak in Indian accent. And sometimes accent can be a deal breaker, Sometimes you will not understand another person, even though they're speaking English and good English. just because of their unusual accent, something that you are not exposed to. I have to switch it off. Yeah, I don't know.
It's cool. It's cool to chew gum.
It's cool. It's cool to chew gum. Nowadays, a lot of young people think it's cool to show the middle finger. A lot of young people, they do it to each other in the house. Young boys and girls are showing middle finger to each other in the house, brothers and sisters. What nonsense. They think it's cool to do so. Copycats. Some people, young boys and girls, they just think it's cool to have a boyfriend. It's cool to have a girlfriend. And that's why, nothing like they feel the need of something. They just think it is something that will enhance their status among their friends. They can say proudly, I'm in a relationship. What the hell? Why would you need to be in a relationship at 13, at 14, at 15? Go play around. Yeah. They just think it's cool.
It's something to do.
It's something to do. कुछ करने के लिए होता है तो कर रहे होते हैं. That's why we chew. I mean, there is nothing to do, so you chew gum because it's something to do. Some people don't like being idle. They hate not having anything to do. They hate what? Not having anything to do. अभी इस बात को हिंदी में बड़ा लंबा चौड़ा करना पड़ जाएगा. मैंने जैसे बोला, some people hate not having anything to do. कुछ लोगों को बहुत अजीब लगता है, बहुत बुरा लगता है कि उनको कुछ करने के लिए उनके पास, अब इंग्लिश में बोलो इसको, 4 वर्ड्स में खत्म हो जाता है. They hate not having. ऐसा don't कैसे आएगा फिर? They hate not having anything to do. Can everybody repeat this line and understand what they're saying? Are you one of those people who hate having nothing to do? Me too. Me too. I can't just sit doing nothing. Impossible. My mind has become so addicted to stimulation. I need a stimulation. I need to stimulate my brain all the time. If I'm awake and I'm not stimulating my brain, I'll feel very uncomfortable. Like ask me to just sit down on a chair and do nothing. Oh, it's a real punishment for me. Yeah. For you too. Right. And some people are so laid back, they just sit and just sit. Maybe they have some thoughts in their heads, but they just sit. I'm sorry, I can't. Not now, not anymore. When I was young, maybe it was easy to have some crazy thoughts in your head, but not now. So
And you can't do meditation?
Come again?
That it's difficult to do meditation.
Are you using an external mic today, Khushi, to talk to us?
What?
Are you using an external mic?
No.
Could you try and change your microphone settings on your device? Maybe if there is another option, maybe something, go to your microphone options and see if you can wired microphone or just your laptop, microphone. That will do. The wireless is not very good quality. It just makes your voice so choppy and unnatural, so difficult to understand. I'm surprised that Sumit is not present today. He said he was a little unwell, but I thought after...
Now is it better?
Definitely better. Go on.
I was asking, it will be difficult for you to do meditation.
Oh, very, very, very difficult, Khushi. I don't think I can do meditation at all. Saurabh, the upper one is correct, Saurabh, because you studied that in Unit 5. Saurabh has asked a very good question. Saurabh, put the question in the group. And I have a request. You know, some people in the room, in the classroom, are very uncomfortable with so many messages, you know, and normally it is a couple of people who interact with each other. So I would suggest they can carry on that conversation elsewhere as well. You know, some people want the group to be a bit quiet with only homework and important sentences so that they can actually benefit from being in the group. You know, if there is a lot of unnecessary conversation in the group, then some people feel like, you know, they miss the important things as well. For example, this message that I'm asking Saurabh to put in the group, okay, this is an important message. You know, people will look at the sentences and try and understand why one is correct and the other is not. Well, we studied in unit 5 verb patterns, if you guys remember. Hate is followed by V4. I hate watching TV. Instead of I hate to watch TV, okay? I hate watching TV. You cannot say, I want going to Patna. You can't say that. You have to say, I want to go to Patna.
Go to Patna.
I want sleeping. No, I want to sleep. But you
I
cannot
want
say,
to
I enjoy
sleep.
to sleep. You cannot say, I enjoy to sleep. You have to say, I enjoy sleeping. What is the problem? Enjoy is always followed by a verb 4, and want is followed by a 2 plus V1. So you have to observe this all the time. There are a lot of familiar verbs you guys have that you know which what they are followed by, but then there are sometimes a few that you can miss, like hate. I hate doing something. I hate shouting. I hate controlling people around me. I hate controlling people around me. So which is correct? I hate not being in a relationship, or I hate not to be in a relationship. Not being in relationship. I hate not being in relationship. No need to use a. I hate not being in relationship. Yeah, this is correct because you need the ing form. Okay. And then what next? Yeah, the verb pattern. Why are we talking about the verb pattern? It's something to do. I was saying we were talking about our personality, how we have kind of made our brains addicted to stimulation. Stimulation means, you know, something is always there is some input coming. Okay, that is a stimulation. Okay, and if you are not giving any input to your brain, then there is no stimulation there. Okay, and it was very easy before. Uh, it was very easy until we got this, you know, mobile phones in our hands. But ever since we got this mobile phone, we have constantly stimulated our brain so much that now it's almost impossible for a lot of people to just sit and do nothing. It feels like torture, it feels like punishment. It's cool to chew gum. It's something to do. So, अभी मैंने क्या बोला था? I'm one of those people who hate having nothing to do. हम उनमें से हैं जिनको अगर कुछ ना करने के लिए दिया जाए, कहा जाए चुपचाप से बैठो, तो उनको बहुत परेशानी होता है. मैंने ये सारी बातें बोल दी. I'm one of those people who hate having nothing to do. Having मैंने क्यों बोला? Because after hate we use the V4. तो ये अगर आप ऐसे फॉलो कर सकते मेरे इंस्ट्रक्शंस को, मेरे लेसन को, then you guys will grow beyond your expectations. अगर आप 4 लाइन लिख लोगे तो आप ग्रो करोगे. अगर आपने छोड़ दिया कि हम तो कॉन्फिडेंट हैं, तो नहीं होगा. हाँ, I was saying that Sumit decided to stay absent today because he was not feeling very well. But I thought after yesterday's class, you know what happened yesterday? He realized that Saurav got some questions right without really having to, you know, prepare. He didn't prepare. He didn't prepare for those things, and still he got those questions right. Just his sense of language. We'll have to agree that Saurabh has been a little more regular than Sumit. Sumit has been on and off, on and off. You know, he's not been the most regular student here. So I thought after that he would try and be more regular. I'm going to tell him, that this has cost him, not being regular has cost him. Because he's somebody who learns fast. So if he's there in the class, he will definitely not miss anything I'm teaching. It's cool to chew gum. It's cool to do something. It's nice to do something. It's bad to do something. It's something to do. इस लाइन को समझ रहे हो? कुछ तो है करने के लिए कम से कम. It means he's somebody who doesn't like having nothing to do, right? So he chews gum. At least there is something to do.
Cool or not, chewing gum isn't made of rubber.
Cool or not, वो तो बात खत्म करो. है cool नहीं cool है वो बात खत्म है. Cool or not, please appreciate this. Cool or not, मतलब ये बात का issue नहीं रहा. Cool है कि नहीं वो हटाओ. Chewing gum isn't made of rubber. Cool or not, chewing gum isn't made of rubber. But what does this mean? That this can be just an opinion. We can agree or disagree here. ये मायने नहीं रखता. What matters is chewing gum isn't made of rubber.
And it wasn't invented by the Americans.
No, it wasn't invented by the Americans.
It was invented by the Swedes.
It was invented by the Swedes. First he said, but it was invented by the Swedes. And now listen.
The Swedes,
The Swedes, I hear you say. मतलब वो ये कह रहा है, he is saying कि मुझे लग रहा है कि आप लोग surprised हो रहे हैं. मुझे लग रहा है आप लोग. The Swedes, I hear you say. Please understand these 5-6 words here. It was invented by the Swedes. The Swedes, I hear you say, इसको कहते हैं style. वो कह रहा है मुझे लग रहा है कि आप surprised हो गए कि Swedes ने किया है. The Swedes, ये tone क्या बताता है? The Swedes, this shows surprise that the person is finding it difficult to believe that the Swedes invented the chewing gum. Okay. Then the Swedes, I hear you say. I hear you say. मतलब मैं सुन पा रहा हूं आपको ये कहते हुए. इसका मतलब मुझे पता है कि आप सरप्राइज्ड होंगे ये सुन के that it was invented by the Swedes.
Hear you say? But listen to Lillian Wood, a chewing.
But listen to Lillian Wood, a chewing gum expert. Now, guys, there is a chewing gum expert. All her education, history, chemistry, maths, physics, biology, okay? All she studied to become what? A chewing gum expert, guys, a chewing gum expert, right? Now you can understand there are all sorts of jobs that we are not even aware of. Okay, there can be a job called a chewing gum expert.
Chewing gum expert. Lillian, welcome.
Thank you. Well, the history of chewing gum goes back thousands of years. In Sweden, in 19...
This sentence is important. The history of chewing gum goes back thousands of years. Subject, give me the subject. Come on, everybody, give me the subject. If I'm teaching this sentence to a young child who is in class 7 or 8 or 9, I don't have to do much. He's a young child. He will get exposure, a lot of exposure. For that child, it will just become a habit. But for somebody who's grown up, he's 20 plus, you have to understand the sentence grammatically. Unless you just dedicate yourself, you immerse yourself completely, in the English speaking environment, you're not going to understand and start saying these things without a grammatical analysis. The history of chewing gum goes back thousands of years. The subject is?
The history of chewing gum.
The history of chewing gum. And verb is goes. The history of chewing gum goes back thousands of years. It means chewing gum is not a new thing, which is basically what they're trying to say. Chewing gum is not a new thing. The history of chewing gum goes back thousands of years. Boliye, the history of Pakistan goes back thousands of years. Okay, this can be a good joke actually, When you're talking to a Pakistani, say, yeah, your country is a great country, The history of Pakistan goes back thousands of years, Let me tell you, a couple, but yeah, yeah, a couple of decades. Yeah, again, well, again, but if you meet Pakistani, some Pakistanis, propaganda Pakistanis, they would definitely disagree with you, and they would say, yes, the history of Pakistan goes back thousands of years. They say Mohenjo-daro, Harappa was actually Pakistani civilization, not Indian civilization. Before Pakistan was born, there was a now Batul is a different type of person, Batul is a different type of person. There are channels on YouTube where Pakistani journalists who are unhappy with the state of affairs in Pakistan, they talk about the problems that are holding Pakistan back. And they say things like this, actually, Pakistani people, educationalists, they are trying to propagate this kind of idea. Ganga in India, Sindhu, Pakistan, thousands of years ago. It was decided and divided by nature. What are you talking about? It just happened finally in 1947. This is what they propagate. Crazy people. Don't make sentences about my age, Khushi. Come on. By the way, not a good idea. Means you got the grammar part right, but you want to say something similar, right? For example, talk about Chhat Puja. Then you could say Chhat Puja goes back. Chhat Puja goes back. Yeah, like this. Understand? Santoshi Ma ki puja doesn't go back very far. If you go like, people say this, just 50, 60 years back, there was never a Santoshi Ma Brat. There was a movie that came, and ever since, people have started doing more, practicing this Santoshi Ma Brat Katha more. My mother is one of them. She doesn't like hearing what I just said. She said, oh, you mean to say Santoshima is not real? I said, no, I didn't say anything like that. She's as real as every other god and goddess. Okay. So, yeah. The history. Sorry, what are you laughing about, Tani? Are you also worshipping Santoshima, Tani? Do you fast on Friday?
I am worshipping all gods, sir.
Including Santoshima?
Yeah, including Santoshima.
कोई एक खुश हो जाए. Good one. Good strategy. Okay. Let's see. सारे टीचर को मक्खन लगाओ, कोई तो खुश हो गए क्वेश्चन आउट करा दे, राइट? Yeah, absolutely. Great strategy, Tani. Well, the history of chewing gum goes back thousands of years. The history of chewing gum goes back thousands of years. The history of chewing gum goes back thousands of years. It's not a new thing. In Sweden,
93, a skeleton of a teenage boy was found.
a skeleton of a teenage boy was found. This is fine, sort of. Very good. When I hear romantic songs, I go back, not goes back. I go back to my school days. Okay. Yeah. Yeah, that's fine. That's fine. Absolutely. The history of something goes back, it means it is that old. The history of something goes back, it means it is that old. Okay. The history of paper goes back thousands of years. Okay. Like that. I don't know. Okay, we can move on. But I mean, it's an easy sentence to understand. Grammatically, the history of chewing gum goes back. Now, context is very clear. The history of chewing gum goes back thousands of years. This means chewing gum is thousands of years old. It means chewing gum is thousands of years old. चलो ऐसे देखते हैं. There are two suppose there is a guy and I and he, we do not get along. Okay? We don't get along. Both of us have problems. किसी ने आपको बोला अरे their problem, the history of their problem or their problem goes back to their school time. Goes back to their, it means हम दोनों का problem कहाँ शुरू हुआ था? Yeah, that's the point. तो पढ़ते रहिए, सुनते रहिए ताकि इसके साथ comfortable feel करिए. एक लाइन सुनने से, एक लाइन पढ़ने से वो लाइन पक्का हो जाएगा, ऐसा बोलने लगेंगे थोड़ा मुश्किल होता है, बहुत बार सुनना पड़ता है. ओके In Sweden in 1993, a skeleton of a teenage boy was found. A teenage boy was found. What was found? A teenage boy was found. A skeleton was found. A skeleton was found, and that skeleton was of a teenage boy.
It's 9,000 years old.
This boy was 9,000 years old. बोलिए तो सिकंदर. Very good. Very good. Sometimes I have heard you not pronouncing thousand correctly. Sometimes you pronounce thousand. A lot of people around you will say thousand, not thousand. It should come out with th sound. Thousand, not. Nah, exactly. That's my point. Okay. A lot of people in Vyaship will say thousand because of the teachers that they have. Teachers end up saying thousand. Thousand. 9,000 years old, and in his mouth was some gum.
And in his mouth was some gum.
And in his mouth was some gum.
It was made of tree sap and honey. And
it was made of tree sap and honey. And the sentence said it was made of tree sap and sugar.
This is the first known chewing gum.
And this is the first known chewing gum. Maybe there was chewing gum before it, but we don't know about it. This is the first known chewing gum. Recorded sandwich, first recorded sandwich, first known chewing gum. Okay. So when you put the word known here, it means we know about it. First recorded chewing gum, first recorded sandwich. You had to read that phrase at the elementary level, in the elementary course. The first recorded sandwich. What does that mean, recorded sandwich? It means we have records of that sandwich. Yes, there was sandwich, right? So the first known chewing gum. It was the first known chewing gum.
That's amazing. Perhaps we've always needed to chew things.
Perhaps we have always needed to chew things. We have always needed to, it's not a new thing that we decided that, okay, we need to chew something, let's make chewing gum. Because 9,000 years ago, if some people chewed something, perhaps the desire or the urge to chew something is something very, very old. We have always needed to chew things. Needed to, not wanted to. Needed to, zarurat hona. You need to do something and you want to do something. There is a difference. Sometimes children go shopping with the parents and say, I want this, I want that. And children say, yes, you want this, you want that, but you don't need this, you don't need that. And because you don't need them, I'm not going to buy them. Because you just want them, not you need them. That's how you explain that you should value your needs, not your desires all the time. Perhaps we have always wanted to chew things. After all,
babies are born wanting to chew.
Yes, babies are born wanting to chew. I mean, he's connecting wrong dots, but it's okay. Let him get away with it. Babies are born wanting to chew because when you're a newly born, you're an infant, again, this is also a theory that Sigmund Freud has given, the father of psychology. Yeah, he says that he used a term, libido, okay, which is sexual desire, okay. Your libido is in your gums, in your lips, in your gums, in your mouth. And that's why you want to put everything in your mouth, because it titillates you. Okay, listen, certain parts of the body are more sensitive to touch. I hold you here, it doesn't really matter. But if I hold you some other places, you feel more sensation. Why? Why does your body does not feel, why does your body not feel the same sensation all over? There are scientific reasons to it. There are more, those, what do you call them? Sense of neurons in certain neurons, sensory neurons or something, maybe, and certain parts have more of them. Okay. Uh, he called libido shift. Libido is the part that is very sensitive, that titillates you, that makes you feel good or strange in a way. And it is initially in your mouth. Yeah, in your gums, on your lips. That's why you touch baby's lips and the baby starts smiling. Just do this to a baby and the baby will give a smile. Why? Because the baby feels some sensation. Okay. So I read a little bit. He talks about libido shift. Babies are born with their libido in their mouth, and then it shifts to their anus, back part. Okay. And then from there, it shifts to their genitals. Okay, where it stays. There is time. You might have seen a lot of children, small children, 4 or 5 year old children, they touch their back, play with it. When they do toilet, they put their hand inside and stuff, and other people feel disgusted. Why do they do it? Because that is where their libido is there for some time. And from there, permanently, it shifts to their genitals, which is normal. But sometimes, these things, according to Sigmund Freud, if the shift doesn't happen at the right time, where there is a standard time, there will be problem with the personality of the child. He says, he was amazing, man, he knew so much. He said so many crazy things. You can't discuss all of them in front of your family and friends and, in a classroom. So many things he said, so many controversial things he said, Sigmund Freud. One of his comments was, what is the biggest motivation for humans? He said sex, which was established for a long time until somebody recently came and said, no, self-esteem is the biggest thing, biggest motivation. It is not sex. For a long time, Sigmund Freud's idea was accepted throughout the world. Again, these are not something that you have to prove in a lab. These are ideas, right? You have to just apply and say, yeah, it's working. But then somebody else came and said, no, it is self-esteem. You want to feel you're different, you're better than other people. And this is what drives us. This is what drives us. But he's fun to read. If you read Sigmund Freud, if you read his books, you will not have a boring time, I can tell you. Okay. First known chewing gum. Perhaps we've always needed to chew things. After all, babies are born wanting to chew. Babies are born wanting to, yeah, they want something, right? But I told you, he's connecting wrong dots, but it's okay. They put everything into their mouths. And not because they want to chew, because according to Sigmund Freud, their libido is there.
They put everything into their mouths.
They put everything into their mouths.
So, Lillian, why do we chew gum?
We chew to clean our teeth
We chew, why? To clean our teeth.
and freshen our breath.
And freshen our breath. It is true. We chew to clean our teeth and freshen our breath.
But also just because we like chewing.
Also, just because we like chewing. It's something we like doing.
It keeps us calm.
It keeps us calm. I think we like walking too. Just walk for the sake of it. Not because we have to walk. We just like walking. And that's why we left Africa and reached here. Walking. If we hadn't enjoyed walking, we would be stuck somewhere there. We would have been stuck there. Okay.
Yeah, keep calm and chew gum.
Yeah, keep calm and chew gum.
Yes, the ancient Greeks chewed a gum called mastica.
The ancient Greeks chewed a gum called mastica.
It's a type of tree sap.
It's a type of tree sap. Okay.
The Greeks thought it was good for the health.
The Greek thought it was good for the health. Some sort of that you get from a tree. Yeah. Yeah, for akman and other things, it also comes out, tree sap. The Greeks thought it was good for the health, and it made the breath sweet smelling. What did they think?
And it made the breath sweet smelling.
Not fresh, sweet smelling. Sweet smelling.
We also know that in the 1st century AD,
we also know that in the 1st century AD, about 1900 years ago,
the Mayan Indians in South America enjoyed chewing gum.
The Mayan Indians in South America enjoyed chewing gum. Now, okay, let's not diverge. Okay, so yeah, Mayan Indians in South America enjoyed chewing gum.
They chewed a tree sap called chicle.
They chewed a tree sap called chicle. And they wrapped it in leaves, not in paper.
They wrapped it in leaves and put it in their mouths.
The first packet of chewing gum.
You could call it the first packet of chewing gum because they wrapped the sap in leaves. So it was like a packet of chewing gum. Yes, indeed.
Yes, indeed. The first packet of gum.
So that was 10.9, guys. Now, 10.10, listen to part 2, answer the questions. I'm going to play all the audio file just at once, okay, without any pauses.
10.9, 10.10. Part 2. The history of modern chewing gum.
So, what's the history of modern chewing gum? Well, in 1871, Thomas Adams, an American inventor, introduced chewing gum from Mexico to the US, and it became popular very quickly with American kids.
Yes, but it was in 1892 when a very...
Okay, you can see that the person has just given you the information to answer this question. Who were Thomas Adams? Thomas Adams gets the credit to introduce chewing gum to Americans. He brought chewing gum from Mexico to... Okay, now, Khushi, you were talking about doing IELTS. IELTS has so many similar, questions. You have an audio file that you listen to, and then you have to answer some questions based on that. If you don't catch the information straight away, they are not going to give you a second chance to listen to the audio. So you have to be fast enough to listen and quickly take some notes so that you can answer the questions based on those notes. It's a good idea to go through the questions beforehand, before you start listening. Go through the questions so that you know what you are listening for. What you're listening for. Just क्यों सुन रहा है? And they haven't talked about William Wrigley yet.
Very clever young man called William Wrigley decided chewing gum was the thing of the future. He was a business genius. He was the first to use advertising to help sell his products.
Really?
He was a young man, a genius. He had new ideas. He was the first man to use advertisement to promote his sales. Before William Wrigley, there was nobody who ever thought of using advertisement.
What did he do?
He hired hundreds of pretty young girls. He called them the Wrigley Girls.
He was also very early people, one of the early people to understand the power of beautiful girls. how persuasive they can be. Young, pretty girls can be very persuasive. They can persuade people to do things they never want to do.
And they walked up and down the streets of New York and Chicago, handing out free chewing gum.
These girls were just giving away chewing gum, handing out chewing gum to strangers, to people in the streets.
Millions of pieces were given away.
Millions of pieces were given away.
Very clever, very modern.
Yes, he also had huge electric billboards made. One billboard was a mile long and ran along the side of a train track.
Wow, great idea.
So, of course, Wrigley's gum soon became very popular all over the US.
If you can get these answers right in one go, Khushi, a band score of 6 is not in any doubt, okay? Is kind of for granted. If you can answer these questions in one go, listen and answer the questions, it means a band score of 6 is granted. 6.5 even, if you can answer these questions just in one go. Listen to the audio once and answer the questions. It means your English is at a level where your, IELTS people will think of you as at 6.5, which is a good score, band score for IELTS. 6.5 is more than a good enough score to get admission in most colleges and universities in England and, Canada and other countries.
But how did the rest of the world get to love chewing gum?
Well, during the Second World War, American soldiers...
The only difference is going to be in the format. Like there are questions here where you have to answer in 1 or 2 or 3 lines. There, the answers are pretty much limited. Like they will leave 2 blank spaces or 3 blank spaces, and you have to write just 2 words or 3 words there. I mean, it is more structured. You see, give me a second. Hello. 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 I can't hear you. Call me back again. Call me back. I can't hear you. Okay, this is what? I have bad habit. I said, call me back again. That again was superfluous. Call me back. Right? There is no need to use again. It's just bad habit. Yeah, why not? But call me back sounds better in this context. Call again, no problem. Yeah.
were given Wrigley's gum to help them stay calm. In fact, in 1944, all chewing gum production went to the US Army.
Hello? Can't hear you. Just a second, folks. Just give me a minute. Just a second, folks. Playing the audio though.
and they took it overseas and gave it to children. Soon they were followed everywhere with the cry, "Got any gum, chum?" So, of course,
You paid 25,000. But 5,000 was advance. You paid it to the. No problem. Oh, it's someone will work out. Okay? हाँ अभी तो ऑर्डर बनवाना ही पड़ेगा ऑब्वियसली ठीक है तो वही जस्ट टेल हिम कि अभी ऑर्डर आएगा ठीक है माल आ गया तो ठीक just let him know that you paid extra. Yeah, definitely.
it spread worldwide.
Yes, I believe it's even taken into space by the astronauts. So, Lillian, what is it made of?
Well, the strangest thing about gum today is that nobody knows exactly what it's made of. The recipe is secret.
Ah, thank you, Lillian. That's all fascinating.
What? So how come we have so many brands, different brands now? You see, look at these photos, guys. Orbit, Eclipse, and Double Mint, and Wrigley's, and Steamorol. And what is going on? If nobody knows, then how come this spread out to so many businesses? This thing.
Only single company for all. Like Towns and Madras single company.
Oh, really? So there is one mother company, mother organization. Maybe, maybe not. You know, because boomers came. I see. Yes. So I don't know. I think. Oh, look. You know what? I think they are trying to figure it out now. And so there is this classic, chewing gum, and then there are new things like what do you call them? This center fresh. It's a different kind of chewing gum. It's not the traditional chewing gum. Wouldn't you agree? Yeah, it's different. It's not the thing that people blow. Can you blow center fresh? Yeah. Can you blow it? Okay. Is it the same?
Yeah, it is, but it is still Yes, it is the same, sir.
Okay, but nobody knows the recipe, guys. They have maintained the secrecy of the recipe, just like Coca-Cola. Coca-Cola. Campa Cola is a new thing that is, it's not a new thing to, okay, that way. Okay, give me a second again. Hello, Anand. Hello, Anand. Yes, Anand. Yes, Anand. Yes, the only thing is that we have paid 5,000 extra because 5,000 was advanced, but you didn't remember that and he paid all the money, but it's okay. We will need more pieces. So we'll have to place another order once we receive it, So, yeah. Uh-huh. 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 Thank you very much. But I mean, you're not going to suffer any losses because of it, are you? Okay, then fine. If it is all right, then yeah. No problems, no issues. You did.
थोड़ी सी बस ठीक है
Right. If I'm paying some extra big, GST amount, then I will definitely ask you to help me out. Okay. Okay. Yes. Yes. These things have a big GST. I know. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I will definitely let you know. Uh-huh. I see. Okay then. Okay. Thank you. Bye-bye. Take care. Thank you. They helped a lot, Anant and Ravi.
But there's a problem with gum. It's
were thinking we wouldn't go beyond 150 this year, but we have already reached 210, the number of students. And I know it is going to reach 250 by the end of this, session and admissions season. And yeah. Okay.
Favorite habits, but when
Guys, it's 8:27 and we don't have much time, so I don't think I'll start explaining 10.10 to you. Listen, you can test your understanding. Play the audio, okay? Listen to it, see how much you understand. You listen to it the first time. Of course, if you listen to it the second time, the third time, the fourth time, you'll understand more and more every time, okay? Do that because you're preparing yourself for the next, thing. But if somebody wants to check where their understanding is right now, if you understand this 70, 80, 90% well, then your band score on IELTS will be easily a 5.5. And if you get to 90%, 6. If you get to 100%, 6.5, easily. That's how it is. This is B1, B2 level English, okay, which is like 6.5. You get to C1, C2, C1 level, then you get to a band score of 8, 7.5, 8. And C2 level, 9, band score of 9. So, Khushi, you particularly are preparing, so please take these things seriously. The way we study in this course prepares you for all the exams of English, everywhere, all the exams I'm telling you. If you do the whole course, I mean, this is the B2 level, B1, B2 level course, pre-intermediate. Then there is the intermediate course, upper intermediate, and then advanced level. Normally, students in hardship do not have so much of patience to study such a long course. They think 4 months is enough to learn to speak English, which is a crazy idea. So if you study the right way, 10 years at school, you won't need a course like this at all. And I'm very sure that the students we are teaching at school, when they graduate from our school, when they get their matric certificate, they'll be fluent in English. And not one or two of them, majority of them, 80%, 90% of them. Yeah, not everyone, because some are just not cut out for that task, for that. Their language is not their calling. They don't take any interest in learning English. They are just not interested. Their motivation is different. So we will have like margin for 10, 20%. People will not be so good, but the rest will be as good as they can get anywhere else. Okay, so we are wrapping up and we will continue tomorrow, guys. Don't forget to listen to the audio again. Okay, bye. Good night.
Bye, sir.
Good night. Good night. Good